Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I'm going to be using a page map sketch from November of 2018. I've used this sketch a couple of times and I'm really enjoying it. I pulled out this Bella Boulevard collection called School is Cool, and I picked up this collection from the Paper Attic buy-in group on Facebook. So as I'm showing you these papers, I want to give you a little bit of detail about her Facebook group. What she does is pre-orders for newer collections, and she's offering them at a buy-in rate. So basically a group of people go in together and purchase the items, and then you get this discounted price because she's buying in bulk for these items. I've been purchasing from her for quite a while now. I would say a couple of years. She has amazing deals. Obviously, she is getting brand new collections, which is always fabulous. She will post them the same day that other big companies are posting them for their pre-sales, and then obviously she will get them when they come in. So the way that it works is you purchase the items on the pre-sale, so you'll let her know what items that you want to purchase. Then once those items all come in from the pre-order, she will then get with you to do shipping. There's no upcharge for shipping or anything like that based on weight. So whatever the shipping is, that goes directly to the shipping fee. It is how I have been able to purchase a lot of my newer collections. Before, I was purchasing a lot from Tuesday Morning, and then since they've gone out of business, I really shopped around trying to find something. I have mentioned her before in a couple of my videos, but I really wanted to give her a shout out because I know that I am about to be purchasing quite a few things from her, with Doodlebug coming out with some super cute collections. Simple Stories just came out with a ton of Disney collections, so she's definitely going to be getting a lot of my business. And as a female content creator, I'm always trying to support other female small business owners, and she is definitely an amazing one. That was a lot of rambling, so let's get into the layout. What I decided to do was use the paperclip paper as kind of my bigger background piece, and then I have this tone-on-tone heart paper. I'm looking for a piece that goes over on the left-hand side, and I'm actually going to have it both on the left and the right-hand side. And I find this black paper that has like white doodles all over it. So it has like a ruler and scissors, like math flashcards, push pens, glasses, paint sets, all kinds of fun school supplies. So I add that both to the left and right-hand side of the layout. And like I said in the very beginning, I've used this sketch before and I love what I'm able to get. So on the sketch itself, it calls for 5 photos. I'm actually going to put a flip-flop on this one to add an additional photo plus a journaling card. I get a lot of full-size photos for this particular sketch, and I feel like it is very well balanced with the amount of paper that's on here. The sketch does call for a piece of pattern paper to go behind the photos. I cut mine what would have been 9 inches. I didn't actually cut it at 9 inches because the top one is 1 inch and the bottom one is 2 inches. And then I have my 6 inches of photos behind it. So you're more than welcome to cut out a 9-inch strip if you don't want to have that opening. But I feel like, why waste the paper? For that yellow heart paper, I did cut that at 9 inches tall, and it is 6.5 inches wide because I'm going to put my 4x6 photos on it, and I wanted just a little bit of space around the edges. I'm always picky about like what I cut and what I don't, because I totally could have cut that yellow paper down as well, but I didn't do that. These photos are of Eli on his last day of 6th grade. I think I mentioned before in a video, I have a ton of professional photos that I just haven't scrapbooked, and I definitely want to get them done. We have a photographer that I have used since Eli has lived with me. We have been using her, and she takes family photos of us at least 4 times a year, sometimes 5 times a year, depending on what scenes she has. So we always do a family photo in the spring and in the winter Christmas time, and then Eli does back to school and end of school each year as well. I feel like I could definitely get some photos of him, but I'm just going to be taking them with my phone. They're going to be in front of my house. They're not going to be photos like this. This was just a local park that we went to, and we brought his board that I had made for him that has all the details, and then we also brought his yearbook, and it was really just him playing at the park. She is able to find amazing places. Like, this is an actual playground, and that photo over on the far left, she just found a tree that he's standing next to. And then on the photo with him with his yearbook, he's just like sitting on a bench looking at his yearbook. I did cut down the 2 4x6 photos just a little bit, I think maybe 1/4 of an inch, just because I wanted a little bit more of that heart paper showing. I also remembered that I needed to add a border to the top and bottom, so I wanted to make sure that even with the border, I had lots of that yellow heart paper showing. I've also mentioned this before. Doodlebug has become my top favorite. I recently learned, this is like old news, that Doodlebug has helped with Bella Boulevard in regards to their production because of some health issues from the owner of Bella Boulevard. So the Doodlebug collections and the Bella Boulevard collections are starting to look very similar in regards to like matching up with their embellishments. Like Doodlebug has Doodle Pops and Bella Boulevard has Bella Pops. So same concept, but the design of Bella Boulevard is done by the owner of Bella Boulevard. I can post a link below if you guys want more detail about it. Like I just happened to learn about this. It's definitely not new news. But I am also loving Bella Boulevard right along with Doodlebug because I feel like there's just so many embellishments and just such cuteness in all of their layouts. Even in these school layouts. Like this is Eli. He's obviously older. He's in 6th grade in these photos. And so it's not like that cutesy stuff that you get with Doodlebug, which I find super cute. But I'm still able to use it on his layouts. I feel like it's a little bit more mature, but still super cute. So I did use a pencil paper. I cut out a strip of pencils and I added that to the bottom where I normally would have put like a stripe paper. But because the paperclip photo is very bright and colorful, I felt like the pencils kind of worked a little bit better. So I did pull out my flip flap and I have this 4x6 card that kind of looks like a notebook paper, and I'm just using some of the embellishments to add to the bottom because I don't really have a whole lot of details to add to this. So I found a little book that had a worm on it that says ABC, and then behind it I added a composition notebook and a flashcard for math. And then I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put at the top. Like I really didn't like that big red open space. So I was like trying to cover it up, looking through the collections, trying to find what I wanted to add to it. And I just couldn't find anything. So I took a break from it and I found this striped tag. And I thought, you know what, I could add that to the flip flap. So it gives some real indication that, hey, you should open this. It's going to be obvious because it is a flip flap, but it gives it like just an extra little pop of color on the flip flap. I forgot to ink the edges of each one of those embellishment pieces, so I pull those all up, ink all of them, and then add them back down. And I go ahead and pull out the stars and add one as well, and then also add a little apple, and I feel like that embellishment cluster is complete. And then I go ahead and add it into the flip-flop, and then bring back the layout to start working on the cluster in the upper left-hand corner. I did also have this Doodlebug design 6x6 paper pad called Back to School, and the colors matched really well with the Bella Boulevard collection, and I was just going to be using a little piece. I wanted something fun to add over to the far right hand side, and I found this paper that had just a bunch of different school supplies on it, and I went ahead and added that to the far right hand side. Then I used my notebook punch to cut a notebook border on this 4x6 card that looks like notebook paper, but it was like super large. So I went ahead and pulled out my Big Shot and I used this die that's a small notebook paper. Like it doesn't really cut the lines even though the lines are there. And it also cuts the notebook edge a lot smaller. Like you can kind of see the difference between the one that cut out as opposed to the one using the border punch. And I felt like that just looked better for the size of the paper that's over there. I started to build up that cluster, so I pulled out this owl and I really liked the way that he looked. I was trying to put him down and realized that he was kind of getting lost. So I decided to go ahead and pull that up. I went ahead and took the adhesive off so that I could put it back in the collection to use later. And I decided to use this green paper. It has the alphabet on it in just like random order. It's really just enough to give it a tone-on-tone look. And I also decided that the circle that I had was too small, so I did cut it a little bit bigger. I think that's a 3-inch circle. So I have that owl that I knew I wanted to use, and I decided that I wanted to add like something for the owl to sit on. And this particular sticker wasn't cut out. It was very interesting. I actually had to like pull it out of the sticker sheet. It was the only one that wasn't cut out, so it was very weird. I went ahead and added the owl, and then I'm going to be adding this school days paper. as well as an A+, and then also a green little apple as well. I did put the owl and that green apple up on fun foam. Then I pulled out the enamel stars and added 3 of those. I thought it would be cute to have the owl holding a pencil, but the pencil was just way too big. So now I'm looking through the 6x6 paper pad. I found this paper that had just a bunch of stars in like rainbow colors. So I cut that out using my banner punch and then inked up the edges and added it to the top. My title is actually going to sit on that little banner piece as well. So just trying to find different pieces to fill in that embellishment cluster. I first started out with this apple with the worm in it, but decided against that. I found the stack of books and I wanted something to sit behind it. I tried a couple of different things, but then ended up with a math flashcard. This collection had all of the grades on those pennant banners up to 6th grade, which I thought was perfect. So my title is just going to be So Long 6th Grade. And I'm trying to get it to work into that cluster, but with that pennant piece, it made it very difficult to try to figure out how it would work in the cluster. So I played around with it quite a bit, but I decided just to go ahead and stick it to the left of the cluster. And that really fell together after that. I pulled out my Simple Stories color vibes and I really wanted to use green, but I didn't have the correct letters. I went ahead and pulled out the orange to spell out So Long. And I did put those up on fun foam and they'll sit right above that pennant piece that says 6th grade. So do you guys take photos at the end of the school year? Like the last day of school, do you take photos of your kiddos and do you scrapbook those? I feel like I am really good about taking the photos or having the photos taken, but not always great about scrapbooking them. So I'm trying to change that this year. I did pull out my color boxes in blue, yellow, and green and add some enamel shapes to the sides. For the flip flap, I decided that I was going to just write in that red section Eli's favorites. I do his yearly album in a separate album. So this is going to go in our family album where he has a whole school album. And so what I decided to do was just pull out a couple of things that are his favorite. So his favorite subject in 6th grade was gym, his favorite teacher, his favorite book, and then what his favorite lunch was. So I went ahead and added that to the journaling. So here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I would love for you guys to go check out the Paper Addict Crafty Buy-In group. I will link it below for you so that you are able to pick up lots of fun new collections at a discounted price. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.